HBO After Dark. Here's my first thought. Let me give you my observation. I think that Matchroom Boxing paid for HBO time. That's what I believe.
know, but they better work on their matchmaking, because that's not what HBO wants. You know, that fight was over in 3 minutes. They only had one fight to show the fans, and then it was a whole bunch of talking and replays, and everyone turned it off. This fight was on at 2 p.m. Nobody stood in. As soon as that fight was over, everyone turned off HBO.
It was pretty awful.
Pretty awful. I didn't like the guy's body language. Look, I'm not going to get too hard into Broadhurst, because the ref waved it off way too quick. Not saying, he should at least give the guy an 8 count. It's round 1. This is a championship fight. This is HBO. This is Sky Sports. You got to give an 8 count. But I didn't like the body language. I didn't like how the guy.
You mean the kickback relax after the fight?
Yeah, they kicked the leg over like he's laid back on the beach sunbathing.
It was pretty funny.
I didn't like how he got up, looked at his corner, and went, eh. He went, eh. What was that about? Like, were you throwing your shoulders up because you got knocked out? Or did you not care about? It was just weird.
It was fun.
And the night only got weirder as we carried on to Showtime.
Well, okay, so you watched them in order. So you started with HBO, and then we move over to the wonderful world of Showtime. And you didn't even put the first fight, that abomination of a 10-round fight between... wait, I can do this. I just watched it.
Dmitry. Oh. All of them are named Dmitry.
Yeah, but Dimitri's wife... Look, the upside of that first fight, they kept showing Dimitri's wife. Dimitri's wife was hot. So it was like two old guys with receding hairlines headbutting each other. I couldn't even figure out what the hell was going on in this fight.
And then the Kondo, the Japanese guy.
Yeah, Condom and yeah, Condom and the other dude.
Hey, this guy's never fought out of one arena.
He's it creepy that I kept pausing on Dimitri's wife and thinking she's hot?
He's had 39 professional belts in the same ring in the same building. How do you do that? What is this guy fighting? Underground for the mob in Japan? What's going on here?
Yeah, and his hair. Look, I don't like it when there's like 40-year-old guys boxing to begin with, because I always feel bad for them.
I don't like it when they have a 39 pro fight record and then they tell you, but it's only out of one building. That's a little suspect. I'm throwing up a red flag, Lee. Where'd they get this guy from?
So for anybody wondering about the first fight, Dmitry beat Condom in a 12-round decision, but it was just awful. Which takes us to the co-main event of the evening. Showtime Shawn Porter decided not to train and fight Adrian Granados.
Oh, stop it. He hurt his hand.
Are you going to try to tell me that he... Okay, first, let me give my first observation. I know he hurt his hand. Let me give the first observation. Did I speed by the two people talking shit about Shawn Porter on the way to the fight? Was that my imagination?
I don't know. Who are you talking
about? Showtime had on... I feel like the brothers were on talking shit about...
Oh, Charlo?
Yeah,
the Charlo brothers?
Charlo brothers. In really obnoxious leather outfits.
Yeah, the newer generation, they're dressing that way nowadays.
Like Eddie Murphy from Raw?
Yeah, there was a lot of outfits. Okay,
first of all, everybody back away from the 80s head-to-toe leather outfits. That's just ridiculous. And he wore like a black and white... never mind.
Dude, I've seen these guys wearing purses, wearing backpacks, they're dressing a different style now. But look at.
All right, so let's talk about the co-main event of the evening. Showtime
Shawn Porter good one.
Took on Adrian Granados. A stronger, sharper Shawn Porter wins a 12-round unanimous decision. 117-111 on all the scorecards. Porter, a former IBF welterweight champion, told Showtime's Jim Gray, have you ever noticed that Jim Gray looks like his name? He is kind of gray. Just an observation. After the fight, he broke his left hand in the 6th round. He gave me a little bit of trouble in there. I hurt my left hand in the 6th round. But I kept using it. I had to use my jab. It took a toll on me by the 10th round, and I couldn't throw it anymore. And he fought impressively. You know, give Granados credit. He took an ass whipping.
Not too much credit, but yeah.
He stood there like a punching bag. He's got a tough...
Yeah, exactly. I don't like it, Lee. I don't like it. So what? The kid's brain was able to take 12 rounds of a beating, and we're supposed to give him credit for that. They're wasting this kid's talent. This kid doesn't belong in the welterweights. Lee, he had nothing to keep Porter off. Let me tell you, that broken left hand in the 6th round is what saved that kid last night. They kept talking, his will is not being broken. His will. Why are we? That is not an upside to a boxer's career. You know, call it what it is. The kid was getting beat down. You know, years off of his career were happening last night. He doesn't belong in the welterweight division. He has no power. He's very small. I know he's tall. I know you can look at his size and length and say, oh, no, he's a welterweight. But when you look at him against these fighters, Adrian Broner and now Shawn Porter, this kid does not have the same frame as these men. He doesn't belong in those divisions. And so, I thought last night all they were doing was ruining a young man's career, a guy that could make probably a strong push at 135, possibly maybe 140 if he took a few fights there and actually filled into the weight at 140, a 140 division. But no, not 147, a joke. This kid beats nobody there. Why is he there? Who did they think Granados would? Spence? You really think this guy's big enough for Spence or Keith Thurman or Danny Garcia? Well, I bet you he fights Garcia, though. Mark my words, that's going to be Garcia's comeback fight. They'll sell it on, he's never been knocked out. He can take a hell of a punch. Watch this.
How'd you feel about that? Did you think you covered it well?
I didn't like it. I don't like to exploit these fighters.
I'm going to say it again. PBC, in general, 80 to 90% of their fight cards are grade A dog crap.
Yeah, mismatches. Guys that are fighting out.
I don't know why anybody's surprised in any one of these 3 fights on what they watched. They were all lopsided, ridiculous blowjobs.
Literally got one guy, Lee, that has never fought outside of a building, not out of his country. He had 39 pro belts in the same building. Did you? How does that happen? And then you get a title shot?
Well, he's also 39, so it might have been a birthday present.
Hey, I want to do that. Hey, I'm going to make a fighter a pro and just have him fight in my garage every week. Yeah, he has 39 fights. Where were they at? In my garage, but he's 39. He's got 39 bouts.
And in the main event of the evening, 12 rounds for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World, some really, really fat guy who decided not to train named Bermane Stiverne, who I would assumed would have strapped it on and came to town. By the way, I was wrong.
Watch this, Lee.
I picked... I'm going to pick everybody against Deontay Wilder. That's just what I'm going to do from here on out for anybody listening. I don't buy into the hype. I think he believes his own hype. And I'm going to say it again. Deontay Wilder hasn't fought dick. He hasn't fought shit. I could have fought as well as Bermane Stiverne last night. I'm positive. I can make it exactly the same amount of time.
Can't do much worse than that.
I can't do any worse. Can't do any worse than the former heavyweight champion of the world, Bermane Stiverne. I'm telling you, I could do exactly what Bermane Stiverne did, which is stand there and take 3 punches and
go down.
And like he didn't get knocked down. He got knocked the F down. Like he was... The
he got
knockdown
schooled.
Was...
No. Hold on, people. That's one of the greatest promoters of all time behind him. He got schooled on how to go down. That's true. Don King will tell... No, listen, last night just seemed a little bit too much of, kid, you're taking this fight or I'm suing you. You know Don King loves to work that angle, the sue angle.
Well,
right?
Because I know people who have been promoted by Don King personally and have heard stories. Yeah.
Lee, Okay, listen. Friday afternoon, I get a phone call.
And by the way, not allegedly, absolute fact.
Oh, yeah, come on, people. Listen, Don King is well known. In this fight, on Friday, you knew this fight was bad. On Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, I get a phone call. Hey, it's plus 1,500 on Stiverne. Do we do anything? We making any move? No. Just leave it alone. Did you see the weigh-in? 1,500, not even $100. Leave it alone. Lee, listen. This guy came in, 250 pounds, like 18 pounds over what he's ever been before?
Yeah.
But it was his arms. Did anyone look at Stiverne's arms? Forget about the tire of the belly. His arms looked like this man didn't even do a push-up during training. He didn't train. Don King called Bermane Stiverne and said, I have a payday that we need. You need, I need, we all need. But Don, I haven't worked out. I don't care. You're going to show up. We're going to get paid. And what happens, happens. If you don't want to take a beating, make it look good. Go to sleep. Come on. That boy was not asleep. He was hurt. But when he hits the canvas, I'm totally knocked out. I'm totally asleep right now. Get out of here.
For those of you who don't know what exactly happened, in the first round there were 3 knockdowns. Arthur McCanty stopped the fight quickly and thankfully.
Lee.
After Bermane Stiverne landed a straight right the first time, a straight right the second time, and then another straight right that butterflied the fat Bermane Stiverne up against the ropes.
Great. That was a great fall. I love it.
Right?
I love it. Lee, when Paul Williams got put out by Sergio Martinez, did he control his fall? When Roy Jones got put out by Antonio Tarver, did he control his fall? No, man, you go limp. When Manny Pacquiao, you guys, gets lit by Juan Manuel Marquez knocks out Manny Pacquiao. There is no control to the fall.
So here are the great. You got to hear the great quotes. There are great quotes from this fight that I just think are hysterical. So let's start with Lou DiBella, who thinks he has the next second coming of Christ in the heavyweight division. Let's start with here. Wait, let me get these quotes right. Lou DiBella, promoter of Bermane Stiverne along with the PBC. Nobody has the jab that he has. Nobody has the one-punch power he has. Wait, he's the scariest heavyweight on the planet. He's the scariest heavyweight on the planet because he's probably got the biggest glass jaw. Nobody's hit him yet.
No. They can sell that ticket, though. Let me tell you, what I see in Deontay Wilder is the power. The right hand is real, Lee. It's real. There's so many flaws to it, though. In all of Deontay's fights, when he is matched up against the top 3, top 5 best in the world, it's a matter of who's going to land first and who can counter when they're hurt. We haven't seen Deontay ever even get wiggled and see if he can fight hurt. Joshua,
and I'm going to say this because I know they talked all kinds of shit about Anthony Joshua, but let me make this abundantly clear for all of you who seem to think that Wilder has any kind of chance. Anthony Joshua will eat this dude for breakfast.
He knocked out Klitschko.
Dude, he knocked out Klitschko.
He landed an uppercut that went around the world.
He didn't knock out Klitschko. He retired Klitschko.
A punch that went around the world. Deontay in 38 fights and 39 fights has not had a punch that went around the world. He hasn't fought
anybody in the top 10 yet.
That's exactly why I don't have him beating Joshua yet. Listen.
Wait, are you ready for the comment of the day? It came from Don King. Bermane was in shape this time. Last time he was dehydrated, but there are no excuses. You can't take anything away from Deontay. Stiverne had to crowd him and stay under him and not let him use his range.
Stiverne didn't even want to look at him at the weigh-ins. That's another thing. The reason why Wilder bends over and is looking at Stiverne is because the dude has his head down. He has his fucking head down, and Wilder looks at him and says, look at me in my eyes. And then Stiverne's like, you don't have to do that. But he looks like a guy who doesn't even want to be there. And then he's just fat. Fuck you, dehydrated. Sorry, you guys. Dehydrated, that's a joke. Heavyweights aren't dehydrated. I'm sorry. When you're 6'2" and 239 pounds, you weren't dehydrated.
So Deontay Wilder had this to say: "A king doesn't chase the peasants.